We welcome all of you to this workshop, which the department has planned in extra to what we are already giving you at HSE1, at HSE2 and at HSE3. This is something which is called an extra. But this is the thing which you need the most to understand. The most which a medical professional needs is this part. Many of the times, we as doctors usually do not have the exact or approximate orientation that how we should carry the research, what are the steps, what are the things we need to write here in the research. So that's why we are planning to orient you vis-a-vis to research proposal, and then inshallah in third year, once you write the research proposal here, if you know the proper understanding, if you have the proper understanding of how to write it, then it will be very easy to you in the third year to carry out your research. This workshop, it will run from today, 8th of November, and will go to 12, that is full week we'll be having it. Because otherwise, we have to get time somewhere. We are not having anywhere when we find time. The best thing was that let the department sit and work overtime in order to give the necessary material and necessary guidance and orientation which is required for all of you. And once you complete, this has an attendance also. So we'll be having an attendance for all the sessions of the workshop, number one. Number second, those of you who will attend all the sessions will be hoping that we'll prepare a participation certificate for those who will attend all the sessions. Not a person who attended 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5. So what we need is a complete orientation or complete attendance. That's very important. But before I start, what do you think? What are your expectations about this workshop? What are your expectations? What are you expecting out of this?
How can we begin the writing this year?
Okay.
What will our needs? Our sources.
So, needs. That's one and the same thing. Okay. Then, how to write.
Firstly, you have to define what is the proposal and what's the component.
No,
what are the
that's
components?
right, but what you are expecting. One thing is that what we'll be talking about.
From this one? From this one?
Yeah, what are you expecting that we'll be giving you?
Only definition and components.
Of all the
Definition and components. From this one?
The structure.
structure, okay?
You mean all the course or only this lecture?
These all the workshop. What are your
all
expectations? What are your expectations from this workshop?
How to introduce your research?
How to introduce your research.
How to make a research.
How to make a research in future, yes? Anyone else? No, this is nothing we learn from here. So you speak. This is not lecture, please. There will be nothing like lectures. We'll be interacting with you more often. So what do you expect from this workshop? How to do research. We learn how to do research, okay?
How to do brainstorm.
How to do brainstorm. How to do brainstorm.
How to collect the information.
How to collect the information.
Running the proper steps for making the
Proper steps. You want to know about the proper steps of this thing. So let's go and see what we are, where we are. You have to understand important things. Number one is that research proposal writing, or which is also called as writing a synopsis. It's a must for all of you in HIC2. Here in second year, you have to identify your topic and write a proposal. This proposal has to be scientifically written, and then you need to present it in front of the audience. There will be definitely a jury for that, and you also need to submit this as a hard copy to the department. Okay? So you might need to make many hard copies. One for the group, you may be 4 people, so 4 for you, 1 for your supervisor, 1 for the department. So 5 copies you need to prepare of this research proposal. And the most important thing is, it carries marks. It carries grades. That's important. So let us see that how much it carries. So why we are here? Because writing a research proposal is a part of your HIC. So when it's a part, we will be giving you information regarding how to write a research, but that will be purely the designs and other things in our lectures. Okay? But besides lectures, as I said, there will be something more than that. Once you go to your supervisors, it will be easy for you to negotiate with them, to talk. It will be very easy. Second important thing is that it's a part of your assessment. Not only to write a proposal, but a proposal is a part of your assessment. And you also have to carry this work which you are planning this year in the 3rd year. So if you have a better plan, it means a better work, better research in 3rd year. If it's a poor plan, it's a poor one. You had endocrine block exams. If you prepare that well in advance, you will get good grades. If not, you will get bad grades. That's one of your questions. What are the outcomes? Everybody was asking me, what is this outcome? What are the outcomes of hepatitis B infection? It was your endocrine?
No. Not much.
No, that's no.
No.
Endocrine is the 3rd year.
No, we already quantified, but this
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Right. So in 3rd year, what was the problem is that what are the outcomes of hepatitis B infection? Now they are asking, tell me what does outcome mean? So outcome means simply the effort which you put. So my answer was simple. You are today appearing for the exams. If you put a good effort, what will happen? If you put a bad effort, what will happen? So these what will happen are the outcomes. So similarly, what he is asking, the question is asking you, is that if you have an infection, what will happen? What are the different things that can happen? That's the outcome. So if you do a very good plan, you will get a very good outcome. If you do a bad plan, you will have bad outcome. So as I said, all of you in the beginning of this course, that this course has 2 parts. One is the continuous assessment, another is the final assessment. Total marks are 100. Out of these total marks, 100, 40 are for continuous assessment, 40. And the distribution of marks is that we have tried to include everything. Attendance, 10%, 4 marks for attendance. So if you attend, you get the 4 marks. That's easy. The most easiest one is the attendance, 4 marks. The second part is the midterm. It has got 20% marks, 8 marks are there. So if you do good in your midterm, you are getting more marks. Third is writing a research proposal. So that's what we will be learning during all these 5 days. Writing a research proposal or synopsis and then its presentation. So when we present it in front of jury, there are 3 people who will give you the marks or grades. How many marks are there? 12 marks. That's huge.
Doctor, about the presentation, how the students will present, or just one of them?
One of the group. Group has to decide.
What about the 3? The remaining?
They have to stay there. So once there will be questions regarding your research, all of you have
So one will represent, and
One-
4 of them will answer the
answer the question.
Okay.
So you have to choose yourself that who will speak.
But 4 of them will be asking.
Yes, all of you will be asked. So once, for example, I am here, you are 4 people,
Yeah.
I have a question, this question goes to all of you. So all the group has to perform well. It's not that only one person will
What about
perform and others will not.
so and the mark will be the same for all of them, or it depends on the.
We'll try to make it individualized. will not give to the group, will individualize it. That means the person who gives good answers, who presents well, will give it. But the presentation part, usually we understand that all of you present in the same way. But the only thing is answering your questions, how much you have understood the topic and how well you are able to actually express yourself. Then is the hard copy. So once you prepare it, there is an attendance, please. You can, Dr. Ashok, you can give them attendance, they will mark their attendance. You are just sign here. So once you submit the hard copy, again there are 12 marks. So we will be sending it to 3 people. So they will check it, you will have 12 marks for that. So how many marks total? 24 means more than 50%, almost 60% marks here.
Can you repeat last point so it will come?
Last point is that once you present this synopsis, you have to prepare a hard copy. Hard copy means a paper,
Okay.
the research, which has different pages and different things, different items in that. We'll be talking on that. And then you will submit it. Again, that will be assessed by different supervisors, and they will give marks up to 12. Then you have field visits, 4 marks.
So the presentation has its own marks, the
Yes.
submission has its own
On
marks.
marks. So you choose whether to get both or get only one. It depends. Then the other thing is, field visits are 10 marks. 10% means 4 marks. We're also seeing that who is going to fields and who's not. So you know that we are also supervising that part as well. So you should be very sure. I think some of you might have seen us. A few gentlemen were here. They were enjoying here outside the college. So we are getting on the attendances that who is what. So you have to make sure that you visit those hospitals and get those 4 marks.
Can you give me briefly third and fourth one, please?
Third is to, this is as a research proposal. Once you write it, you have to make a presentation and present it, just as I am presenting in front of you. But there will be an audience, there will be 2 judges or 3 judges. They will evaluate your presentation skills, and the material you have put on.
Okay.
Then you have to submit a body. Submit the research proposal to department. Again, that will be advanced. Yes. Not here. If you have any questions, here, ask me. So, but tell me why we do research? What are our motivations? Which things motivate us to do research, to carry out research?
There is evidence. For evidence.
For
Significant evidence. Evidence.
louder,
Significant evidence.
significant evidence. So he wants to carry out this desire to have an evidence. Any other reason why you are concerned with research? What's your desire for the research?
Discover maximum disease and
That you need information.
To solve a problem, for example, or to find any reason for it, something like that.
Solve a problem. So the desire is to solve a problem. Yes.
Get a solution.
Another issue is that if we have a problem, then as medical doctors or medical graduates, we should also be in the desire to answer that question.
Yes.
Similarly, if you play football and you are just trying that I should kick it directly to the goal or any of the corners, you are trying it again and again and again. There's a desire that I should go there. So similarly, when we are talking about in terms of academics, then the desires are, as I said, to find a problem and to answer that problem. What he said, to get more and more evidence. That's why we do our research. So let us see why we do research. First important thing for all of you is obviously the first part, isn't it? The first part is the most important motivating factors. Huh? So this is all about, if you do a research, you get a good degree, isn't it? You get a degree, that's why we do it. Then, as I said, desire to face the challenge in solving the unsolved problems. If there are problems, you are facing the challenge. If you have any question, you are not able to answer that, you try to find out through the literature, through the books, and you want to answer that question. That's the challenge you want. That's a desire, internal desire, a thirst to search for that solution. Then another thing is that to get that intellectual joy. That means once, all of you, once you are appearing for the exams, those of you who get good grades, they feel joyous. Isn't it? You feel good. It's a feel-good situation. Sense of feeling good. Similarly, when in academics or in medicine, when you do such things, we say that there is an intellectual joy once you solve any problem or put forward any solution. Then obviously, if you want, there may be people who want to serve their community, so they need to understand their problems and give their solutions. So that will be another desire for people. It may not be others, maybe the single desire will be to serve the community in a better way. So only better way is that to understand their problems and then find out their solutions. And then obviously greater responsibility. So when you do this type of work, when people ask you questions, you are a more responsible person than an ordinary person or an ordinary graduate. You are a more now acknowledged person that he has carried out the research. Now people will ask you questions about a particular problem. You will be someone to talk on that subject. That's why you do it. Now what's the purpose? What we want to give to you? First important thing is that you should be oriented to your research. Your medical graduates, the medicine is not a static subject which remains there. For example, yesterday or even what you are being taught today may be obsolete tomorrow. It may not hold good anyway. So that is the reason that unless and until you will not have this orientation that how and why I should carry out this research, then the immediate my immediate benefit is that you should be able to prepare your research proposal. Good proposal means good grades, as I told you earlier. Then it will be easy for you to carry out the research in third year. So if you have a good plan, easy. And we have exams, the SLE exams, specialty exams. 20% of the marks go to CV. What do you give that? So if you have in your CV that I have attended this workshop, I have attended these things, I have attended this will improve your CV as well. So these are the short term. Long-term benefits are, as I said, desire to infuse research culture. So when you do today research, tomorrow you again want to do some type of research. Because you have find a problem and you also find a solution to the problem. You search for that. That has given you joy. When that gave you joy, it means again a desire to do a second task. That's why it's important.
Doctor, the last point, improve our CV. This one is extra course, right?
No. We say what are the purpose of this workshop. Purpose is short-term.
Yeah. You said improve our CV.
Yes.
So that you will provide certificate.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I said in the beginning. That if you attend all the 5 days, all of you will get a certificate of participation.
Okay.
That's what I say. So when it's a certificate of participation, you will put it in your CV goes up in comparison to others. Long term, as I told you, second is contribute to research, scientific knowledge. So you will be in a continuous desire to add up more towards scientific knowledge. It's a long term benefit of having this workshop. Then you will obviously have, if you do a good research, you will publish your papers, more papers, again improves your CV, again you are having a more responsibility, you are having a more say in certain situations while you have carried your research. And obviously be leaders. So leaders means that when people will come to you and ask for solutions, how you have carried out this, how I should carry out this. So that means obviously you will be feeling an intellectual joy as well as helping others. So you are becoming the leaders in medical science. Now we'll come to the point. What is a proposal? As I said, all of you, once you have tried to make a meal, a dinner or a lunch. So before you prepare that, you need to know that what I want to prepare first. And then if you know that, you also need to know what are the items required for that. What are the stuff that I need for that. Okay? So we need to know what are the items of stuff which is needed for making the food. So a proposal is generally a suggestion of plan. Proposal is a plan towards accomplishing a given task. So you have a given task in mind, you have identified your topic, and this is a plan how to achieve that. It is simple as we have the timetables with us. We have the timetables every day. They are first page, second page, third page. What are these? These are plans. How your HIC course, this heme and immune course, will get completed. In this day, this week, how many lectures, in next week, how many lectures, and then people are following to accomplish those goals. So it's like the same thing. So it's a plan. The plan reveals so what does the plan do? It will reveal the nature of the task which you are going to do. So review that and also lay down the steps what are necessary so that you will achieve the goal as well as objectives which you have mentioned there or which you are asking for. A proposal therefore is a foundation. So this is the foundation, or we say it's a blueprint. Once you you want to make a good home, what you get? You go to an architect. The architect gives you. What do you give you? When you go to an architect, you want to build a beautiful home. So he gives the design. That's the blueprint. Similarly, when you are trying to do a study, you need a proposal before that, and that proposal is basically a foundation or a blueprint of all the activities which you will be doing to accomplish those goals. Yeah.
What do you mean by foundation?
Foundation? That's good. At least you are asking questions. Foundation means if you have to carry out your research in your third year. So, achieve. Yes. He says foundation. He says foundation. I say to you that if you have to build a house, the first thing is the base you want to build, isn't it? If the base is solid, everything goes solid above it. If the base is weak, so all above it's all or nothing almost. A simple jerk will fall it down. So when you are going to carry out a research, you need to have a foundation, a good plan. Foundation is a good plan for your research in the third. Okay? So again, I say that it serves as a framework how to carry out these. So understand, if you have a good proposal, good research in third year. If you have poor proposal, so your foundation is weak, so everything is weak there. So if you have a poor proposal, it provides a poor framework, so you may not be able to accomplish your tasks, your objectives at the end of the research. Now, this proposal, research proposal, so what we do is that we plan it very carefully. We will discuss it with our supervisor. You will be discussing with your supervisor. You will be discussing among yourselves that how better I will plan for my research. So it is discussions or deliberations. You reach a point where you develop this plan. So you have to understand that whatever academic activities or scientific activities you carry out, they are bound to have problems. If any of these problems they can have, if you will not meticulously plan ahead. What are the problems? The problem may be inability to locate any knowledge gap. If you will not plan well ahead, then you will not be able to identify the gap in the knowledge which you want to bridge to your research. Then, if you do not have an appropriate methodology, now second part of your, we'll be talking in different headings, I'll give at the end, that research designs are another important part of your research proposal. If you are not able to identify a proper design for your work, then it leads to poor methodology, poor procedures. Whatever you will get out of your research, it will be very poor, it may not accept it, it will be subject to questions and questions. So to prevent that, you need to have a very good plan. Again, in the research proposal itself, you need to tell us that what type of data you will be collecting and how you will be analyzing the data. And if you opt for wrong methods, wrong statistical procedures, you will get wrong results. So once we'll be talking now, so this is the introduction, this is not the path basically, but it gives you an overview. So we'll be discussing this process under these headings through these 4-5 days. First will be what is to be studied, what you want to study. So you will be going back, you will be, once you write this thing in your research proposal, it will come under the heading of title and introduction. So you have to give a title or a topic, and then you introduce that topic. Then what aspects of the subjects are to be studied? Then what do you want? This was the topic, what do you want out of this? That means your research problem or your objective. This will be second part which we'll be talking about during this orientation. Then the question here is, why do you want to carry out the study? So you have to give us the justification for that. If I want to carry out any research, you have to tell us why I want it. Is there any gap? Is there something lacking? Or you want to search for more? So that's called a justification. And then, if we have all the things now, but what about the previous literature? Is there any literature available on the same topic? Or something relevant literature towards this topic? That is called as a review of literature. So in this part, you'll be going back maybe 3 years or 4 years, search the articles from the journals and see about the same topic which you are going to carry out. The research proposal or the research which you are going to carry out, you will try to find out the relevant material. What others talk about your own subject which you want to carry out. Then, how you will conduct this? That is why we will be talking about the methodology, study designs, settings, the sample, all these things will be talking about methodology. I think you have the schedule for this? Schedule for the workshop? So you have all these headings which I am talking about. Then we'll be having tools for data collection. So how will we collect the data for this research? That's called as tools of data collection. How will you do that? A questionnaire, a pro forma, or you are taking certain measurements. So that we talk about tools of data collection. And then whatever information you have put in your research proposal, you have to give us the sources where from you got it. But please understand, once whatever you write here, these are your own sentences, own wordings. But this information which you have understood comes from a source. So that source is to be located. You have to tell us from which area or which journal or which book you have got this information. But please understand, once you put any word, this word or this sentence will be yours. It will not be directly or a copy and paste situation. No. You will frame your own sentences, but give us a reference where from we got it. Okay? So this is whole 4 days what we'll be doing. We'll be having a second session. So I'll give you a little bit of relaxation. You can distribute them the copies. I don't know if you have completed prevalence of hypertension among medical college students. Okay, fine. So that is your research topic. Nobody has seen it before, and you want to carry out this research. Now, what's important here, when we say review of literature, it means that about this particular topic, hypertension, and among medical students, has anybody carried out same type of study in other parts of the world? So that is why we say you will just put in. We have attended the clinical key, the workshop in the library.
I attend.
You attended. So what you need to do, you just put the same title in that in the search engine, and then you find out the journals or the topics. It will give you a list of topics, maybe 5 topics, 10 topics, 20 topics, or even 100 topics. So these 10, 12, or 100 topics, they are related to your research because you want to carry out the same type of research. So what is important is that once you review that literature, so the literature now which you have with you, the earlier literature, you will revise, you will read it, and you will then write it. So this is what we call as review of literature. What you need to do, you read each topic and get the crux of the topic. That is, what are the main findings, who has carried out this research, where it has been carried out, which year it has been carried out, and what does it tell about your own problem which you are carrying out.
To support your own research.
support. That's actually to support and to have an eye that what's already known about this problem. Yes.
What does it mean here, proposal submission?
Proposal submission. Proposal submission means, similarly, once you prepare a research protocol or a research proposal, it will have different pages. As I said, these different things. So once you prepare that paper like this, it will have different parts. It will be having a title, then there will be an introduction for approximately 1 or 1.5 page. Then the second part will be the objectives. It will be half a page, means 2 pages. Till now we have completed 2 pages. And this will be also a part of the introduction, the justification. So this will form the first part of your research proposal. Then literature review. This will be at least, as I said, for last 2 years. Research which has been carried out on the same topic during the last 2 years, you will make smaller paragraphs on that, maybe 3 pages or 4 pages. Wait, 4 pages. Then you will also talk that how you will carry out the research. This will also comprise at least 2 or 3 pages. Then questionnaire. This will again be 1 or 2 pages. Then the reference will be 1 page. So overall, you will be making a document. You will be preparing a document at least 15 to 20 pages. Okay? Then this document, it will remain 1 copy with you, 1 copy to your supervisor, 1 copy to your other groups. Each one will have it. And you will give this copy to us. That is called submission of the research proposal. So you will submit that to us. Clear?
Last year, students had to bring ethical.
To bring?
Ethical consideration. It means ethical consideration.
That we will talk about that later. We are not talking about ethical consideration. Now here this is a proposal. Ethical consideration is something different. Now all of you have to understand. Once you are carrying out any type of research that involves humans, maybe medical students, maybe anyone in the community, maybe in the hospital, whenever you want to collect data from them, for example, blood pressure measurement, you want to take height, you want to ask certain question, that's with the help of a questionnaire, this is called data on humans. You are collecting data on humans. When you do that, you cannot do it of your own. You need a permission for that.
Sometimes with animals also.
Sometimes with animals, yes, obviously. But because we are focusing on the humans only, so we'll take that animal part out of it. So any data which pertains to humans, you have to get an ethical clearance. That ethical clearance will come from college ethical committee. So when you write a proposal, give it to us, present it in the please sir. Present it, submit it, then what next? You want to carry out the study. So you need to write an application to the college research committee. They will give you a paper that's called as approval to carry out your research. Ethical approval.
Can I ask just a question? What do they use for this research?
What?
What do they use for this research?
What are the benefits?
What's the benefits?
I think I have talked about the purpose.
I know, but
What are the
just
benefits?
you just want us to just calculate the information from the internet and make it together for you?
No, it's not like that. You are making a plan for yourself. You are going to carry out the research in 3rd year. Okay, you are going to prepare a plan for your own research, not for me. Then you are not understanding. You want to do any job. You want to build a house. You are not building for me. You are building for yourself. But what you need to do, you need to prepare a plan for that.